Okay, let's go indeed. Yes, hello. It is Tuesday evening. We're playing some Dungeons and Dragons. I can indeed hear all of you. Very, very nice. Worried T, thank you very much, both for your follow and for spending your Bezos bucks on this particular channel. Remember, folks, if you are on Amazon Prime, you do get a free Prime subscription. And if you don't spend that, that money goes directly to Jeff Bezos. It goes directly into his personal bank account. So use those Bezos bucks.
Remember, you have to go to twitchprime.com and connect them.
Connect your Amazon to your Twitch, yes. Dee Vampire Lady, glad that you're here. Worried T, very glad that you're here. Gail, obviously glad that you're here. Wow, it's been a little while since we've seen one of our number. It's been a little bit. Jen, very, very glad that you're back. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself really quick and talk a little bit about who you are playing this evening.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm the Swedish Geek Ball. I'm playing Kreetha and her giant frog Stinky. And it's really fun. I haven't embodied Kreetha in a little while, but she is my ranger goblin. She has accent and she is fun. She is very young, but she has accent and she will tell you things.
Do you have a particular word or phrase or something that helps you get into the Kreetha accent? Is there a particular thing that you say or think in your mind to get into that accent?
I really just start talking.
That's entirely fair.
And it turns into, it just turns into her. I start
kind of like Kreetha sometimes just starts talking and doesn't know exactly where it's going to go.
Yeah, pretty much. Kreetha and for a spy, Kreetha is not particularly good at thinking about things in advance.
Not very subtle. District Hit, welcome.
Subtle.
Very glad that you're here. Yes. Up next, let's go ahead and talk with the other person who's going to be playing an actual Communisai, welcome, an actual player character today. Em, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and who you are playing today, especially since we have not seen your character in a little bit.
Let's see. Who am I? I'm Em. I am one silver key on all things. I figured I'd do that now. I am a streamer occasionally, but I just moved to California and I'm jet lagged as fuck.
They're right over there.
Yeah.
Through a wall.
2 walls. There's a closet.
Oh, now we're counting walls, huh?
Walls. It's better than thousands of miles. I am playing Victoire Marchand, who is a large person. I feel like at least one person has found out. I generally want to keep the majority of their stuff secret. I know we're doing a level up soon, but also secret. They are a shifter with some artificer levels chucked in there.
Kreetha does not know this.
I have a big wolf dog who is mechanical, and I love him very much. Yeah, we hunt werewolves in this house. I don't know what else to say.
At least the ones who refuse rehab.
Do you want me to do a physical detail, or do you want just a who is you, what you do, kid?
A little bit of a description would be pretty good. I know that you are by far the tallest member of our group.
So tall.
And your weapon is definitely unorthodox.
Okay. So Victor is about 6'6", give take. Very much built like a brick house.
More than double the size of Kreetha.
She has furry pointed ears. And very, very broad shouldered, thick. Generally has a fair amount of body hair. And then a giant fluffy mane. It's pulled back into a ponytail, but it goes basically all the way down to her knees. Give take. This woman is big, thick, and covered in hair.
It's very much step on me, mommy kind of vibe.
Someone had to say it.
if you Google the image of Batman in a dress, and you can see this picture as Batman drawn in like a pretty princess dress with like a great big smile. That is exactly what Victoire looks like.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
So yeah, no, she wears like armor and the such. Her two main weapons is a giant great axe and an infused repeating heavy crossbow that vaguely looks more in the direction of like a rifle, but it is mechanically technically a crossbow without the cross part of the crossbow. It still takes bolts. It still makes the thwip sound instead of the big musket boom, and is only a D10 instead of a D12.
Welcome, Shweti. Glad you're here.
Do love that we both use crossbows because Kreetha also uses a crossbow. And her crossbow is
has a mind.
Dead.
Her crossbow has opinions on that.
Victoire's crossbow is about the same size as Kreetha.
Yeah, like definitely there's the size. Like I can imagine Kreetha like handing Durgadin to Victoire in like the heat of the moment, and Victoire going, "I'm gonna shoot this dang thing."
As a quick bit of,
I think she knows how to do it, but I think she'd treat it like a hand crossbow.
As a quick bit of
hand crossbow.
As a quick bit of context.
A hand crossbow for a baby.
Thank you, Shweti. As a quick bit of context, yes, Durgadin is the spirit of an ancient dwarven smith who is currently infusing the weapon that Kreetha holds. Now,
Smith King. He was a king.
Normally at this point, I would have the other two players introduce their characters as well. However, we've been doing this kind of weird split party thing for a little while because of conflicting schedules. So the only two actual player characters we are likely to see for the majority of this are indeed Kreetha and Victoire. So it is indeed going to be a tall and small classic runaround. It's going to be fantastic. However, we do have two other players here who are going to be helping me out in portraying other sorts of NPCs. So let's go ahead and start with Jeff. Why don't you just go ahead and tell me who you are, and we can skip the character for now. Although I know you very much love to come up with your descriptions.
Yes, hello. I'm Jeff Holland. I pronounce he him. Normally I play Calder Creed, our resident sorcerer, who's just trying his best. But today I'll be playing the role of, well, whatever NPCs I am handed, but notably I'll be playing Captain James Bonewolf.
Yes, Captain of the Guard in a small town whose name I don't recall.
Yeah. Yes, he is the captain of the guard of this small and wonderful little town that he is very protective of because it lets him do whatever he wants, and he's not shy about that.
Side note, I got a question real quick.
What's up?
He's a bone wolf, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is that like definitely not a werewolf like every single Greymane?
You don't know anything about bone wolves being werewolves, but who knows? Maybe. We haven't dug that deep into their pasts yet.
Greymane, I'm definitely not a werewolf.
When are we gonna do the Bone Wolf investigatory like stuff? Like
release the Bone Wolf papers.
Well,
yes.
We'll catch up with Kevin when we get back.
Run up into Kevin and we'll be like,
okay. Gail, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Gail or Olivia, and I will also be helping out by playing a few NPCs, one of which we've already seen, Inari, the priestess of the local temple Tatir, who pointed our adventurers in direction of the cellar they're currently in, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, speaking of the situation we're currently in, it has been quite some time since we did the precursor to this session. It's been quite a while. So
I had no voice.
Yeah, totally. And that's why we did this whole thing. So we're going to do a quick recap of what happened in the last Vampire Hunter session.
I'm gonna need the help to remember.
Yes, that's why we're doing this. So it started out well before then. Kreetha and Victoire did not continue on to Hyacinth's home to resurrect Clarion with the rest of the party. The two of
We don't
them
know that guy.
in Tribor met up with your standard tavern-going shady individual who told them that there was a small, like a manor, like a plantation, that had been attacked by something which drained the blood of their victims. There may or may not have been a survivor. They got directions. They set off. When they got there, they found a whole lot of bodies strewn everywhere. They found a whole lot of evidence that, yes, this place was almost certainly sacked by vampires somehow. And they found one living person whose name was Stephen? What the hell was his name?
Oh,
Probably
no.
Steven.
I don't
sounds
remember the
right.
name of our poor, unfortunate soul that was in that building. But
Bob
they,
number
Long
6.
enough.
Sad but true.
they found him, they consoled him, they rescued him, and that night he transformed into a vampire spawn, and they had to put him down. And
And by they, it was very much. Oh God, that was rough.
Tim? I think it was Tim.
Tim, it might have been Tim.
They
Yeah, I
call
think it-
him
I,
Tim.
I believe that was the joke, is that you may call me Tim.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, that wrecked poor Kreetha.
from there, though, you were able to, I believe, using tracking, you found your way to a very small village, again, whose name completely escapes me because I'm a great DM. You
Village number 6.
I don't know if we
you,
named it.
you found your way to
Village
a
number 6.
small village and sort of reported what happened. And you were, I believe, led
Buddy was
to
weird.
the captain of the guard and one of the priestesses who sort of told you, yeah, this is a thing that's been happening. We, in fact, have one locked up in the cellar underneath the church in the center of town. It would be really, really good of you if you could check it out. And the last thing that happened, I believe, was Victoire saying, go ahead and lock the door behind us.
Yeah.
So they are going into a enclosed basement with the specific intent of killing a berserk vampire spawn.
Actually, we don't know if it's a berserk vampire spawn.
Fair enough. Killing something, or at the very least,
We actually
confronting
don't know if
something.
we're going in to kill anything.
We're
What-
just going down to investigate on the word of that totally not suspicious at all lady.
Not suspicious whatsoever. Okay, so I'm sure I missed stuff. Were there any details? We'll go around really quick. Were there any details I missed from there? And it's been a long time, so if you don't have one, tell me you don't have one. It's totally fine. It's been like, what, 6 weeks since that session?
I fully
It's
moved. I have
back
no
now.
idea what's happened.
That's
It's
fair.
starting to come back. Like I do remember more of it between a combination of Gail reposting her art of that session and you going back through it. Because we had gone through and like there was this whole thing where Kreetha had to get Tim out of the closet.
Out of the pantry. Yeah.
Out of the pantry, yeah.
pantry, and like he hadn't turned, he didn't smell like it, he wasn't a vampire at that point, so we're like, we didn't even test, we're just like, oh, you poor thing, and just brought him with.
Just brought him
And
along.
then that
Just-
night he turned him into a vampire, and of course Kreetha was in the back with him, and he's like, you know, because he didn't want to turn into a vampire either, so that was crushing.
He told you to
Uh,
run.
He
That
told
was
you to run.
crushing. Yeah,
Mm.
and
Aw, Tim.
yeah, so Kreetha is getting just piling on extra
It was a
trauma.
very short but very tragic character tale.
Yeah. And then when we made it to the village, Kreetha went over to check out the pub, and like because we were trying to find the survivors, and we were told the survivors were there, but we weren't granted access to the survivors. So
Right. Aren't the bereaved
yeah.
going through enough? Yes, I recall.
aren't they going through enough?
Yes.
You know, so I had been trying to get that while Victoire was talking to our Bone Wolf friend.
That's right. I'm remembering now too.
And had after talking to the priestess
Inari,
Yes.
yeah.
Priestess
Yeah.
Inari.
and then like when we finally met up again, Victoire's like, well, we got this thing to do, we're gonna go over here, and we're supposed to meet her in the cemetery behind the in the cemetery behind the church, and I'm like, yeah, this is not sus at all. But Kreetha's like, all right, I'm going to follow you wherever you go, Victoire, because she is. And like she has both a really good and a really bad, like, I guess, suspicion meter.
Well, no
really
one's rolled
not
insight
pinging very well.
yet, so
At all.
Not even at all. So yeah, so they're like, yeah, you need to go down there. We've got somebody down there, and like they're like different than everybody else, and like they're having trouble. We sent everybody else on. So could you go down there and check on them? We're just gonna lock the door behind you.
Actually, I told them to lock
now
it.
we're
Yes,
down
that was a
there.
request from Vic.
Yes.
And with that, Gail, what do you got?
oh, just specifically the person down in the cellar you were told is one of the only survivors from Blang Hill that is still in the town. So that's also why you wanted to go speak to them.
Yeah, because that was our goal, was to go talk to some survivors and get more information.
Yep.
Yeah, and there was a thing like we've locked them in the basement, and that's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
With that, I'm going to go ahead and jump us over to the game mat.
Let's go.